Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I'm going to be doing a what we eat in a week video. I'm going to be using the recipes from my 28-day meal plan, warm weather version. I have two. I have one that's more for winter. Now that it's getting closer to spring, I'm really craving some of those fresh vegetables and herbs, and so we're going to dip into this and cook from this week. You can get this meal plan ebook at bit.ly/farmhouse meal plan. So first up, today I'm going to be making the salmon burgers with fried potatoes. This calls for steamed broccoli. I don't have steamed broccoli, it's actually Monday, and I'm gonna order groceries today, and so I'm getting a ton of stuff, but right now I do have Brussels sprouts, so I'm gonna be going with that instead. So I'm gonna cook up a little bit of bacon, and then for the salmon burgers, I'm just going to mix up drained canned salmon. I buy these cans that are not boneless, and I open them up like this and find the bones, and I just pull them out because I'm sure they're great for you. I just don't like it. I don't like crunching in knowing it's a bone, so I'm always pretty careful to get most of them out. Now there's always a few bones in there, but you can get out most of them pretty easily. Eggs, arrowroot powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and onion powder, and then fry those up in coconut oil. And I really like to cook Brussels sprouts in bacon grease, add a little maple syrup, makes that really good. I don't have many potatoes today, but I'm just gonna cook what I have left and get some new potatoes from the grocery store today. Seasoning, I'm going to be making skillet pork chops with mashed potatoes. I'm also going to be making an onion gravy. So once I cook my pork chops, set them aside, I'm gonna add some butter, some onion, maybe some mushrooms, flour, salt, pepper, make a little gravy to go with my mashed potatoes. I'm just letting this gravy cook until it thickens with the Eincorn flour. I'm making sort of a milk-based gravy because we have so much milk right now with our cow, and so it really does add to the flavor of pork chops, and then plus we have mashed potatoes, so that also is delicious with gravy. Now what makes this summery is if you have rosemary or thyme planted in your garden, this is absolutely delicious with those fresh herbs. I don't have any yet because it is not quite summer, but to give you the mealtime inspiration for the warmer months ahead, that is definitely what makes this shine, are those fresh herbs. Now, I'm gonna add some garlic, some mushrooms, some butter to kind of jazz it all up. But yes, that is what makes it really good. All right, tonight for dinner, I am making a super simple quinoa nachos. So what this means is instead of chips, I'm just using quinoa. I've been making this for my family for quite a while. It's very easy and it's very seasonally adaptable. So if in the summer you have fresh tomatoes and peppers, whatever you have in your garden, or in early spring, maybe some fresh greens and green onions or parsley, anything really goes. You can just cover this with fresh vegetables, herbs, cheddar cheese. It's even as good with some black beans. I'm going to just do ground beef, onions, cilantro, lime juice, cheddar on a bed of quinoa, and that'll be a super simple dinner for us. All right, today I'm going to be doing the Eincorn orange chicken and rice. This is one of our favorite meals. It definitely takes a little bit more effort because I'm gonna actually batter and fry the chicken. Now, if you want to make this a really quick meal, and I've done this, is just cook the chicken, make the sauce, make the rice, do not fry the chicken, makes it a lot easier. So that's not what I'm gonna do today, but that is a great busy night option. I'm gonna start by cutting up the chicken into bite-sized pieces, and then I'm going to batter the chicken in Eincorn flour. So I do a cup of Eincorn flour and 2 teaspoons of salt, and then in a separate bowl I do an egg. So I dip it in the egg and then the Eincorn flour, and then I cook it or fry it in coconut oil. You could also do something like lard, would be a good option as well. Also gonna get some rice going here while I'm frying the chicken, and then the last thing I do usually is make the sauce. I'm just gonna make a simple sauce here with fresh orange juice, coconut aminos, which replaces soy sauce, maple syrup, vinegar. Now in my recipe book, I call for 3 oranges juiced, 3 tablespoons coconut aminos, 2 tablespoons maple syrup, 3 tablespoons vinegar, and 2 garlic cloves. I'm gonna double this because larger family. You can also add a bit of arrowroot powder or cornstarch to thicken it. Next up, I'm going to be doing burgers on homemade sourdough buns. Now, as you can see, I'm following this pretty loosely because in my meal plan, I have it with potato salad, and I'm just doing roasted potatoes in the oven. I like things as guides, not necessarily as exact meal plans, mostly because I'm personally just not a huge planner. But I did take the guide and I made my homemade sourdough buns. Now, in my original bun recipe, I did it to where I mixed the eggs in the next day. Lately, with any enriched sourdough bread, so something that has eggs in it to make it softer, I've been adding the egg in, then letting it ferment about 8 hours, and then doing a second longer rise in the fridge. That's been working out really nicely, and it's actually a little bit easier. So I think I'm gonna keep testing it, but then eventually update a lot of the recipes to reflect that because it does make it a bit easier. So that's what I did today. And then I just made some grass-fed burgers with cheddar cheese and served it with potatoes and sauerkraut. Now today, I am making my homemade sourdough tortillas and doing my honey mustard chicken wraps with fruit salad, and that's an actual full day from this. I'm actually following it this time. For today's chicken, I just roasted a chicken in the oven all morning till it was done and crispy. I have the recipe for sourdough tortillas in the book and also on my blog. They're super simple. It's essentially getting a dough together, rolling it out, and then frying it on each side. And then for the homemade honey mustard, I actually love making this all summer long because it's great on green salads. I make my homemade mayo with an egg in a wide mouth mason jar, some lemon juice or lime, whatever you have, mustard, salt, avocado oil on top, and then I blend it with an immersion blender. Comes together perfectly, and then I add in a little bit of honey and mustard into the mayo to make a really delicious honey mustard dressing. And then top the wraps with greens and cheese and honey mustard. For the final day, I'm doing the creamy chicken and mushroom pasta from week 4, day 6 of the warm weather meal plan. Today, I actually have some leftover chicken from a previous meal, so it's already cooked. So I'll just throw it in after making the sauce. I'm going to make a little sauce by adding butter, mushrooms, garlic, and heavy cream and some einkorn flour to thicken it up a bit. This will make a really nice sauce to go over some Eincorn pasta with the chicken breast. I also decided to veer from the usual recipe, go figure, and add a can of fire roasted tomatoes because that just makes this so much more delicious. And of course, in the summer, you'll have fresh tomatoes, so perfect to add those. It's really great in the summer when you have some fresh herbs from the garden that you can throw in to make this dish very bright and seasonal. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this week's What We Eat in a Week meal, all meals from my summer meal plan. Again, if you want to check this out, it's a 28 days, so 4-week meal plan with shopping lists and recipes for each day. You can get that at bit.ly/farmhouse meal plan. I hope that I've inspired you to create some seasonal dishes for you and your family. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you are brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by our farm.